So since Monday, I have heard Smooth by Santana at least like 3 times a day through no choice of my own. It started with the newest episode of Game Changer that came out, and then like every day since then, multiple times a day, I'd be in a place where the music that they were playing there just happened to be Santana's Smooth. And that happened day after day after day, except for today. And like around 1 or 2 p.m., I was like, oh, it's interesting that it happened all these days and then just stopped today. And in that moment, having this other thought, I mean, it wasn't really even a thought, it was just a knowing of, oh, press play on your music, on your Spotify, press shuffle, it'll be the first song. And wouldn't you know, I pressed play on my shuffle, and it was the first song that played. I have 1,700 songs in my shuffle mix. So what? That's a 1 in 1,700 chance. But it wasn't. Like, it really wasn't. It was a 1 in 1 chance when I had the thought, because it was just knowing. Like, probability wasn't a factor because it was already known that this was going to happen. It wasn't a, wouldn't this be nice if this happened? It was a knowing that this is going to happen. And it did. And it's like, you could say that that's a coincidence. Like 1 in 1,700 odds, it's got to happen eventually. But the thing is, again and again, day after day, week after week, this keeps happening to me. Like multiple times per day. Let's say 10 to 20 times per day, I'll have something like that happen. Maybe not quantifiable of like, what are the odds? But instances of synchronicity, of, oh, there is something greater being imparted than just these random chaotic figures that I find myself moving around throughout the day. It's not chaos. For so much of my life, I wanted proof. That was what I always said. I didn't believe in God because I didn't have any proof. And now it's just like pouring in. Like to the point that it's gone stale. All of these things are happening and I'm just kind of chilling. The wonder isn't there. Whereas maybe a year ago or so, one of these instances would have kept my fire burning for days, for weeks, who knows? And now I find myself with constant reassurance, yet I'm not feeling the joy of someone that knows God is real. And whose fault is that? In my last video, I talked a bit about how this is kind of just, I haven't been feeling very inspired recently. Like there's nothing to say. Not a lot's going on. And that sounds contradictory to everything I've just said, because think of all of these things day after day. Like realistically, I can't possibly explain them all. They're far too personalized and would take far too much time to explain, and even then you kind of gotta be there to really get it. But you'd think that that would be inspiring to tell the world about something, you know? Look at this magnificent order that I have found. I found peace. Everything makes sense. I don't know what anything is really for, but I try to learn lessons throughout the day. I try to learn to take something from whatever I'm experiencing. So when I was sitting with this, kind of in a space of, well, what am I missing? Because something's out of place. What I hear is the lesson that keeps repeating, which is Smooth by Santana. Why can't I remember that? That's so funny. And the clip from Game Changer where Zach is just saying, Lily, give me your heart, make it real, and just forget about it. My heart's not in it. Not fully. And it kind of has to be for the power to be on, you know? It's so easy to point the finger and be like, well, I'm trying my best, so clearly it's not my fault. And I can only speak for myself, but I make so many excuses for myself, and rarely am I giving it my all, you know? So, at least for myself, it makes sense why I would not accept a reality where the fire is back on. So much of these things happen. I mean, all of these things happen because the synchronicity occurs because I know a certain thing will occur, and then that thing occurs in the way that I knew it would. I feel in order with the universe because I know of things that happen before they happen. But if my time is split between the world of the spirit, the world of God and all things that are real, and the world of the world, civilization, culture, all that, my loyalty is split. And any loyalty to the world of the external, the cultural world is a belief in meaninglessness. At some level, we're doing all this because we need to be remembered. Because otherwise, once we're gone, we're gone. If you have any goals of like the ego, it's because you want to be remembered. You fear that once your life is over, that's the end of your story. And that's because you're identifying with a part of yourself where that's true. That is true. That part of yourself that's like, once I'm gone forever. That person's gonna die and be gone forever. As far as you've come to know that person. But that's not who you really are. Who you really are is eternal, and when you live fully in the world of the spirit, that becomes apparent and very obviously true. And then the idea of the ego and that person dying, it's trivial. That's like, oh, I didn't save my game. I'm going to have to restart this, or I'm going to have to lose all this progress. It doesn't matter. It does not matter at all. But in order to see that way, your heart has to be fully in it. If there's a toy that takes 8 AA batteries and you only put in 7, it's not going to work. Full commitment. Give your heart and make it real. Otherwise, forget about it. Split loyalty leads to nothing. It just leads to meandering. One side already won because the other side doesn't actually exist in any meaningful way.